Abani Ghani, everyone. This is Professor Rahh, Professor Emeritus, California State University, Long Beach, where I taught for 34 years. Also a professor of history, ethnic studies, and psychology at Compton Community College, as well as I served as director of the Transfer Center and a counselor at Compton Community College for over 10 years. Along with my co-host, Joe Hembrick, longtime educator for Compton Unified and Linwood Unified School District, where he served as a teacher administrator. And at the same time, he was the head coach, first Black head coach of Linwood. But his biggest contribution is a self-taught historian, whereas he has dug deep into our history as a people and going all the way back to ancient history. And we deeply appreciate Brother Joe Hembrick. We want to welcome and give praise and thanks to Brother Rashiki Maskani and his contribution to us as far as this platform. And we thank him and his family for providing the space where we can talk critical issues that we are affected by as Black people. And as he teaches us that each one teach one, this is a community education network forum, and we deeply appreciate that. And that's what we do. Education is a tool and a weapon, tool to build on and a weapon to fight against ignorance. And we want to welcome Brother E, who's going through some challenges. And we definitely want to, for those that are prayer warriors, pray for his family and his mother, and that that we wish for him nothing but good fortune, and that his mother be treated well in the hospital and be home tomorrow. We pray that. And then at the same time, we got Brother Mashinda, straight out of Louisiana, where they in the deep South, long-time administrator working with youth that has been incarcerated, and just an activist in the Louisiana community, and abreast of all their politics and issues that we face in the South. And then we have the good doctor. The good doctor has nothing but a pocket full of prescriptions for every issue we face as Black people. He has his own mind, his own remedy, and his own diagnosis. And if you are politically, economically, and educationally, and socially sick, the good doctor got a prescription to make you well. All right, so we're going to get started on a very sensitive topic tonight. We generally start with good news in the front line, but this topic is so sensitive because it's very, sometimes it touches somebody in their homes, and sometimes some of their friends, and sometimes it's a politically charged issue. And that is the LGBTQ community and its effect on the Black community from a standpoint of issues that they face that they say are similar to the civil rights and Black Power movement, and the emergence of the LGBTQ community, and what some people think it's hurting the Black community. That is from the standpoint of diet that is causing Black male femininity. You have Black men wearing earrings and jewelry and getting braids, and sometimes they're wearing wigs and things of that nature, as well as women that have chose masculinity and things of this nature. And we want to discuss, is it an issue or is it not? And what is the views of the panel? And we want to get some input on how it is affecting us in different areas, like in the South. So we're going to start with Mashinda. Mashinda, how's the LGBTQ community treated and understand in Louisiana?
Well, I only can speak to, people that I, witness on a daily basis. I don't know. I mean, we don't have a LGBTQ community. You know, we don't have a village or anything like that where, you know, they all live or anything like that. They just people in society that you know, have their preferences, I guess you could say. Me personally, in the line of work that I'm in, I have to deal with all kinds, you know. We're in the business of educating folks and trying to, you know, pass on some positive information, you know. So at the end of the day, you know, if they with the that community or not, they get treated the same by me, you know, because I don't discriminate against nobody. You know, I don't have that kind of hate in my heart to that I don't have the power. I don't have that. I'm not qualified to judge people like that, you know, and maybe I don't have the information to make a judgment or whatever, you know. But uh, we've have students who are that I would assume that they're part of that community. There's a male that comes on campus that dresses like a woman. You know, it's like say I guess he's a transgender or whatever. He goes by a female name. And that information was passed on by a female coworker. She knew about him, I guess, had interactions, but I've had interactions with him coming into the office, asking a few questions about something, you know, that kind of thing. But uh, I think I noticed a lot of the whites, they have their, you know, some of the staff, you know, especially some of the old country boy men, the rednecks, you know, they make comments about it, you know, not about that particular person, but they have, uh, you know, they have their reservations about people that subscribe to that way of life, you know. But again, I don't know. I think that um, there's nobody that I know of. You don't read about any hate crimes in this area. Was you know, gays got beat up because they're gays, or you know, so I really can't speak on it. You know, it's just, you know, people live in life and people got preferences, you know.
But from a historical standpoint, when you were young, and before you became a
What's
professional educator, I mean, did you have any stereotype views of LGBTQ people?
who, me personally?
Yeah, and when you're young,
No, no,
and things like
no,
that.
no. When we were young, you know, we used to use the terminology, call them punks and faggots, and use that kind of language. My mother used to say, "Oh, that's ugly," you know, calling people names. But you know, we were rough. You know, we didn't accept that probably, you know, within a few circles that I was in. But as I got older, you know, I met people, you know, people from the neighborhood, people, you know, in life, you know, at school that was of that persuasion, you know. I didn't run with them per se, you know, because I mean, but uh, you know, but again, I kind of grew out of calling names and, you know, just that was just immature on my part to be calling names or whatever, you know. But personally, um, especially at this point in the game, you know, I ain't got time to worry about anybody else's preferences. But I don't see, you know, from a prevalent standpoint in society where I'm at in the South, I'm sure they speak against it. You know, from a religious standpoint, you know, they're gonna throw religion in there, and you know, they're, you know, especially the white folks, you know, the black churches, they some of them are in that institution. They have their thoughts on it too. You know, they do frown against it, so to speak. But they're gays in the church, and they're active in the church. You know, so at the end of the day, you know, hey, they may it may be against the religion, but you still got gays in the church. So some of the guys in the choir, a lot of them in the bands, in the different ones, a lot of them are feminine, you know, and they well accepted in the church, you know. So I don't know. So again, the question is, no, I don't have no reservations about any of it. You know, I don't have time to, like I say, worry about other people's preferences. You know, the effects that it may have on children. You know, if you have a PE teacher that's feminine and he's teaching young boys, you know, of course that's going to raise some red flags. I just don't. Um, uh, I don't see that right now. I don't see any of that kind of involvement they might think that he might try to mess with the young boys or something like that. I don't know.
Well,
But anyway,
do you think the LGBTQ community and their movement and towards fighting discrimination and being able to have big parades and in every major city, do you think that have an effect on the Black community, good or bad?
um, well, I tell you what, I think in the Black community, I think that as far as the struggle in the Black movement, it can have an effect on it in terms of slowing it down or kind of kind of maybe robbing it of resources, taking away the strength from it, in other words, diverting attention away from it. I remember when I was in college, I was in the Black Student Union. I was a treasurer in the Black Student Union. And I worked in there as a student worker before that, so I was very affiliated. Next door was the Gay Student Union. They had their own office, it was like in the student center. Then they had the Gay Student Union. Well, they said that we're going to merge the Black Student Union with the Gay Student Union. And, so we raised holy hell about that, So it wasn't about, oh, we don't like gays, but it was a fact that, wait a minute, this is our, you're trying to dilute, we understood that they were trying to dilute our power on campus, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't take it. We didn't merge, but they were trying to merge offices, just make it a general student union among minorities and including the gays, I guess you can say. But they had a
Okay.
gay student union.
What school was that you went to?
I
Can you
went to San Diego State.
San Diego? Oh yeah. Wow. Yeah, y'all had a strong movement. That's right. You was there with Shirley Weber there. Yeah.
Yeah, I was there. I was there when Karanga was there. I was there when a lot of folks were there.
Yeah. I spoke there a couple of times during the Black History Month thing. Okay, brother, the good doctor. What's your position on the LGBTQ community? Does it have a negative or positive effect on the Black community?
Um, I don't see how it have a negative or positive effect. I mean, you have Black, part of the Black community is part of that community.
Mm-hmm.
So I think anything that affects us, affects them, affects anybody else. So I don't think there's either, that's effective, positive, negative at all. Just,
So you don't.
they have their issues like the regular people have their issues.
So you don't see it as a conspiracy for Black population control and the whole concept that two women together can't produce a child, two men.
I
We need
don't.
reproduction more. You don't think that? One of the arguments is that whenever a male turns gay, that's two men gone, and we need more men to be with women, and that's what's causing the women to go gay for sexual pleasures and things. But you don't buy that.
Now, when it comes to personal stuff, who you like, who you love, someone you want to go to bed with or be with, that's where you're not going to get anything from me, man.
Yeah,
hey, you be who you want to be with.
you know, many gays look at they're discriminated against, even though they have power today. But from a historical standpoint, their position is they had to struggle. And
Hey,
is there a difference between white gays and black gays from the standpoint of, you know,
no other difference than anybody else, man.
You don't think
Blacks have their struggles from the same time. They have struggle. Everybody had their struggle, as you've said, you know, Professor Rahh. Their struggle still continues. Our struggle still continues, man. Yeah, when it comes to that kind of personal stuff like that, man, where you know someone you like, and you're telling someone they can't like someone they like. That's you guys found my line. I don't cross
but
that.
People
man.
do that. People do
Yeah,
that.
I don't, man.
I know
you know what? Whoever you like, that's cool. As long as you're happy, man. As long as you're happy, I don't like mess with nobody's happiness when it comes to personal relationships, man. You know, you be with whoever you want to be with, and I understand you. Hey, society sees it negative, and hey, that's society. They see us negative.
Yeah, but see,
you know,
at one time they were very vicious. Well, it was you know, they used to have to hide. That's what they meant, coming out the closet,
right?
Because of being attacked, being marginalized as a gay, or what we used to call women bulldaggers,
right,
all those type of things. And then at the same time, some black people believe that the gay movement is getting more attention, and it takes away from the black movement, and then that in many ways, one, it gets black people in it, in that it gets them to be a part of the gay community in any level, you know, women and men, and it takes away from the black struggle. Now, I don't know, you know, some people believe that, and, you know, there's writings about it, there's criticisms about it, that, you know, preferential treatment, such as the whole HIV thing, where whites were getting the majority of the money for HIV, while black gays were not. Then at the same time, they were taking away social resources. And then from a political standpoint, there are more gay-operated cities than there are black-operated cities. From the standpoint like West Hollywood, San Francisco, they're getting preferential treatment in politics. The governor just appointed a lesbian to be a United States senator. Long Beach has elected a gay mayor for a little while. I don't know if he's in Congress or where he's at now. He ran for office for Congress. I don't know if he won. Then you have an onslaught of gay men on news broadcasts and things of this nature, and they seem more concerned about their gayness than their blackness, especially the black gays. And so some people, you know, not some people, but very organizations saying this is a preferential thing to divide the black community on this issue by giving gays preferential treatment. I mean, some of the biggest parades that cities sponsor, they spend more money on those gay parades than they do on Martin Luther King parades or any other celebration. Sometimes they outdo Christmas parade. So you see what I'm saying, Doc?
Yeah, you know, that's what I've said. You know, Professor Rahh, I listen to the show. So every, what do you call it, sect of society always compare themselves to our struggle. Nobody wants to be black, man. Nobody wants to be like the term they're using, the ADOS or what's the one the guy used? the Tariq Nasheed guy, I can't think of his term. It's FBA. I think that's what we call it. Nobody wants to be, a descendant of slave. And you look at it, like I was telling a friend last week, everybody in the world, every culture, gender, everybody compare themselves to us. I mean, we're at the bottom of the totem pole, and everybody, as long as you're doing better than us, you're okay. Nobody wants to be us, man. Gays don't want to be us. Whites, Hispanic, nobody. Even the blacks come from Africa.
Yeah.
They don't want to be us. Nobody in the world wants to be us. Everybody else's parades are going to be always bigger than ours. Everybody else's paychecks or family, everything, their conditions are going to always be better than ours.
So it don't make no difference if you're gay or not.
It doesn't make a difference, man. Everybody's stuff is going to be always better or perceived better than ours. When in actuality, man, I think we're doing a lot of better than all these other races, man. When you come down to it, pound for pound, man. I mean,
in what area you think we do?
I'm thinking, overall, man, I'm looking at all this stuff on YouTube and all these so-called black scammers and I'm thinking, where are all these blacks getting all this money to be given away to these guys that so-called, allegedly scamming them out of, tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars. Then you look at it, man, you look at the money we make, Professor Rahh, we make a lot of money. We just don't put it in the right places, right investment. But I think they're hiding that. But overall, man, nobody wants to be black. Everybody's struggle is going to be better than ours. Their parade's going to be better. Party's going to be better. They're going to get more votes better than us. Everybody's comparing themselves to us. Like I told a buddy, when I retired and slipped and told someone that was non-black, about 60% what I made in retirement, the guy went off. Mm-hmm. And he just felt that I shouldn't have been doing this, better than him. Mm-hmm. And when I talked to other retirees, the amount we make in retirement, a lot of whites, Asians, Hispanics get upset, man, that, hey, I'm kicking it and making almost 2 or 3 times much they're doing when they're still working. They get upset when we do better than them. Mm-hmm. So on the struggle thing, man, their stuff is always going to be the gays. Everybody's parade is going to be bigger than ours and get more votes and get more this and that and get more little like with the crimes. So you get these little hate crimes. They was able to pass the Asian hate crime. And, we're fighting for hate crimes. The LGBT getting hate crimes. And you see this thing going on with the Jewish community. All of a sudden, they getting hate crimes. Everybody getting these bills passed on hate crimes except us, man. So, I can't let it bother me. But that's the way it's supposed to be, and that's the way it's always going to be, man. Everybody that's non-black is going to always have it, better than us on paper, man.
Yeah. And
it seems that way, and they're gonna always come up with, these little conspiracies and make us, like you said, go and show the commercials, promote this. You hear the Hollywood stories where now they come out with Will Smith and all these guys, and they come out and say that you have to do that. Join that gay stuff to make it in Hollywood, but hey, man, like I said, be who you want on a personal relationship. Be who you want to be with, and on the other one, like you said, yeah, man, their stuff is going to be better than ours, man. Nobody wants to be black, so
well. There's a lot of people that don't, but
like Good Times. Remember the father on Good Times?
Yeah.
Make a list of everything nobody wants to be.
John Amos.
Black black be down to bottom next to sick and dead.
All right, Doc. I get your point, but I'll come back to you, Doc. All right, brother Rashid, what's your position on this LGBTQ community?
Man, I'm down with nature.
Mm-hmm.
So in life, I explain to my students. I said there's lines you just don't cross because they're not meant to be crossed. Like you wouldn't go up to get on a 3-story roof and just jump off head first. There, there's just lines you don't cross, and I'm not into the discussion of that topic because I don't agree. I understand people do what they want to do and there's free will and all that, but I'm not in agreement. So I just don't really discuss it. And as far as the community, the LGBT community, I wouldn't back it or participate. So it's just not for me. That's not my interest or something I'm willing to really discuss because I'm more into nature than anything else. And if it's unnatural, I'm not with it.
But
So I'm
that's
gonna
the
leave.
argument that it is
Yeah.
natural. It is
So,
natural. That's they are
according to what and who?
them.
Oh well, they could think that, but I mean
But
that's fine.
and nature too, because people been gay and participating in those type of activities since the
Well,
beginning of humans.
one thing about it is, in everything that's done, there's a purpose for it. Uh, like when you procreate, that's man and woman.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I know people talk about pleasure and all this and that. Well, I don't mean, you just go and do anything to get pleasure. There's, like I said, there's lines that you shouldn't cross because it's not meant in nature. But people do what they want, and I'm just not with it. That's all. I'm not one of those that's with that. I'm
Yeah, well,
just,
you're not by yourself. There's a lot of
yeah.
people that don't even want to discuss it, and they like you said, they're not even in it, but it exists, and it affects people's homes. It's like Dwayne Wade, his daughter, our son, and also a number of other high-profile celebrities, blacks, people. Magic Johnson's son. Uh,
Well,
my
well,
point. Go ahead.
well. When things are when you have a high variety of diversity and confusion, it's another mechanism to be controlled. You know, you're controlled more when you have all of these things that's going on, and so so we're well the power structure it thrives off of having everybody at odds with each other because of the wide range of diversity, and then people are fighting for like we were people were mentioning fighting for rights and things of that nature. Well, the the controlling powers thrive off of all of these things that keep people at odds, and you're easily controlled that way. And you can't build a united front when you have 10,000 diversity, tenants going on, and it's it's just too much. So I, I'm I'll let somebody else talk about it because
Yeah,
I'm
but you're making a good point. I mean, a lot of people that's very don't even want. They just that's not part of their psyche. They don't even want to get into it, and I can understand that. But when we look at the challenges that we go through as Black people, and they say mass incarceration contributes to the gay movement, the male gay movement in the community, and the female lesbianism. Now, you know, you got transgender as well as bisexual people, like how the down low got caught up. Atlanta is known for down low, if I'm not mistaken. And then at the same time, they didn't consider themselves as gay. They called it just a gay experience. They look at gayness as when you totally converted. In other words, the guy in prison who rape another dude or go with another dude till he get out, he don't consider himself gay. He considers himself just, you know, a gay experience. But at the same time, we have a problem defining that aspect. The same thing with transgender. You know, a lot from a religious standpoint, when you were born, you know, there are arguments and legislation. See, this is deep, man, because they got legislation saying you gotta know if your kid come to school, like Machinda was saying about that young man, and the parents don't know that when he's at school, he may have women clothes in his backpack or something. He go do that or put makeup and lipstick on when he get to school, cut it off when he go home. But schools are required to tell parents that your son is going by a girl name or your daughter is going by a man name when they get to school. It's affecting young kids. In New York, you had two third graders in the bathroom giving each other oral sex. This is a dynamic where they have motion pictures now. When we was coming up, we ain't seen no motion pictures of two men kissing and things of this nature, or the femininity of men, and it's affecting us because we get into the struggle of the rights of our people to be gay versus this, struggle. Now, James Baldwin was gay. Bernard Russell was gay. The guy that helped, who organized the March on Washington. You have a number of Black people in high position. Moms Mabley was gay. You know, I mean, you have a lot of entertainers that go through changes, as somebody was saying. But does it have an effect on the Black community? Because most of us profess to be deeply Christian in the Christian doctrine, Solomon and Gomorrah, and we were taught to hate and discriminate against gay people. That's why they had to hide. And it's still have an issue today because you have Black people that are putting more emphasis on the rights of gays, and they haven't even gotten all their rights of being Black. So it's creating a controversy in the Black community. And that's why I wanted to discuss this and get your views, because, you know, like, I'm like Doc. I mean, yeah, you know, people love who they want to love. You know, you got people that love their horse, people that love their dogs, people that love their, you know, you have incest, you know, you got a lot of issues that deal with, but when they become more politically organized from a standpoint of politics, and Black gays are marrying white gays and becoming a part of the white movement for gay rights, but they wouldn't even be in the Black movement for racial rights. And you see so many contradictions, and that's why I wanted to see your views on this. Linda, you in Florida, do you have any position on the LGBTQ community?
Yes, I am in Florida, but my views is that's not how. And I go back to the old saying: God created Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. So I'm totally against that. And I know there are people who, try to tell me, but no, Linda, you can't do that because they're still people. But I don't believe that. I don't never have, and I never will. And I don't care what nobody says to me. I'm not changing my mind. And I try to teach Zari that's wrong. It's not how it's supposed to be.
Gay people get together, they don't even hate sex. They just say they're in love with each other.
Right, right. But I'm not talking about from a sexual standpoint. I'm talking about
Well,
just
you
the
said
whole concept of it.
the whole concept is nasty.
Yeah, because it's not right
Okay, from a religious standpoint.
from a religious and a moral standpoint.
Well, what more?
And then because they cannot reproduce, you cannot reproduce. And man and woman was made to for reproduction of children and your offsprings.
And that's their argument. That's the gay argument. Man and woman are made to reproduce, but men and women were made to reproduce. But man and women are also made to love, and they should be able to love each other, even if it's no sex involved, or even if it is some type of creative sexual pleasure. That
But you
emotion.
know what? That's actually not love, it's self-hatred. Because a person who is gay, and this is only my opinion, because something happened to them during their childhood, something trauma based. And I'm not a psychologist, but something happened that had to happen when they were a child. They were not born like that. Something happened along the way,
So,
and that's
so,
why they.
so you don't believe in the argument? I got a woman trapped inside of me. If you a
No,
male,
that's not
I got
true.
a male trapped
No, that's not
inside of
true.
me. If
That's ignorance. No,
so
this
you
is somebody. No,
and you
nobody
don't
was
believe.
born like it. God made people who you're supposed to be.
But what if you say that since the beginning of time, humans have had sex with same sex? But you're saying you believe in the Adam and Eve story, but some people take life back to evolution, and they see it different. I'm saying that the majority of the people feel the way you feel. A strong part of the people, Linda, and I'm not knocking that. But
Right. Okay.
but from an anthropological standpoint and a scientific standpoint, which is not religious,
Mm-hmm.
there are groups of societies that were tolerant of gays, going back to Greeks and all of those type of things, and then
Yeah, in society today, a lot of people are trying to condone it, but I'm still against it, and nobody can convince me.
okay, I
And
agree.
anybody around me, no, don't even come around with that craziness because it doesn't make sense.
Okay. Okay. I think you're and Rashid about the same level. It don't make no sense. But it's here. And it has a negative effect and a divisive effect in the Black community.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's so many people now who children through either being influenced by mass media or either being experienced by someone approaching them and paying them or abusing them as children or whatever. Many people think that the Black community have a gay problem, and that white folks do not consider gay men or gay women as a threat. Now, but they do see strong Black men, strong Black women as a threat.
Yeah, that I agree with. Yes.
Mm-hmm. And they don't. The biggest fear of the white man is the male, But at the same time, you know, there are some strong women, you know, Harriet Tubman and Ida B. Wells, you know, Soldier of Truth and all of them. But we have to look at it from a standpoint of the value of us as a people. And like most of us want procreation because our population is dissipating all over. When immigrants bring families over at one time, and it takes 9 months to have a child, and within that 9 months, maybe 100,000 to 200,000 families or people come over the border with 3 and 4 kids. All you have to do is go to the store, and you see a lot of people with 4 and 5 kids and pregnant. You know, you know, and you be saying, "Wow!" And then and the same thing, we have we had a movement to sterilize women in the South with the Shockley and his partner. They recommended sterilizing Black women because they're just producing ignorant people. And then you have the other issues that discourage Black people from having children. It costs too much. Black people, you know, having, then you have, you know, you just have a lot of issues, and the mental illness issue. But the point is that we are in a struggle for Black rights, because you're Black before you was gay, you know. You know, you're Black or African American or African or whatever, how you see yourself, but they go by skin color, the discriminating person. And as Dr. Francis Chris Welsing says, it's about genetic annihilation. And when a Black man and a white woman mix, the baby most likely gonna come out dark. And when a white woman and a Black man mix, the baby gonna come out dark, or with Afrocentric features. And so that creates why, that's her argument why white folks don't want Black. So there's a movement to normalize, popularize gayness in Black communities, according to some social scientists. So, I mean, that's why we were discussing this. Is it a problem in the Black community? Do we see a increase in Black gays either coming out the closet or being converted into that lifestyle?
Professor Rahh?
Yeah.
Historian Joe is here.
Oh, big Joe. Yeah, how you doing, Joe? You hear the discussion, Joe?
Yeah, I'm hearing it.
Okay, what's your position on LGBTQ? Is it a negative effect on the Black community?
I want to quote Chris Rock, but I won't do it because of the airwaves. What he said about F them. But anyway, I beg to differ with you about it's been here since beginning of time. Only record I see of it is with the Greeks and then the Romans when it came into play, unless you go for that Sodom and Gomorrah fable that's in the Bible. But anyway, I think the powers that be, that hidden hand that control the mass media, puts it out there to take the focus off of them at present or the last few years. Anything to take the focus off of them. They got the gay commercials, they got the interracial commercials. That's been Hollywood, you know, to get in the movie industry, the music industry. It's a book called An Empire of Their Own, How the Jews Created Hollywood. It covers a lot of that stuff. But anyway, I'm like Rashaki, I'm a nature person, and I don't see no two male or female plants doing each other. takes a male and a female. And a lot of these people that are with that, I'm a firm belief that, like Sister Shorter say, something happened along the way. And it's kind of like how you got that first orgasm. You kind of think that's it and go that way. I couldn't believe that this big old center, Rahh is gay. Dwight Howard. He got some case right now that somebody's suing him behind. He took advantage of him sexually, and he came out and said it was consensual. They go 7 foot Watusi with it. But anyway, I don't like talking about it. I don't want it around me. I tolerate some of my people that are that way. I got some relatives that way, you know, and I try to show family love, but I don't let my daughter spend a night at their house.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of matter of fact, my daughter knew she couldn't stay. She ain't never spent the night at my sister's house.
Mm-hmm.
I don't play that. When she got 18 and grown, and it's a different story. But she knew when during her primary years, don't even come asking me that. Mm-hmm. They ain't spend a night. I don't know what's going on at other people's house, but I know what's going on in my house. Mm-hmm. So
that's why they say they discriminated against black gays.
No, I don't care if they black or white. And nowhere. Matter of fact, a lot of white folks, they thought, oh, Mr. Hembrick, he's really racist. He won't let his daughter spend the night. I'm like, oh, hell no. But anyway, it's all out here in the open. These churches are that way. A lot of these ministers, man, it's just off the chain now.
But are you saying there's African communities that's in the bush or living in natural things didn't have rules against gayness?
Where are you talking about, and when are you talking?
Well, let me just say this: there is a law against humans having sex with animals. Is that correct?
Man, could be, yeah.
Yeah, well, it is. There is a law.
Stopping them, though, they grabbing them sheep and wearing them out.
I know it, but if you get caught, it's illegal. And, you know, people screwing animals. That's where venereal diseases come from, and other issues that come from. You know, sometimes you see a sheep with a goat head. There are all type of examples of animals participating in that. Even some dogs have gay activities, but male dog, you know. And so my point is that the reason societies have laws against it is because there was people participating in it. You don't need a law against, a giraffe don't have a law against having sex with an elephant because they're not turned on to it in nature. You know, the species don't get stimulated. Humans get stimulated off anything, even their hand. You understand, from the standpoint of masturbation. My point is that the reason why there are political laws against it, because some people were participating in it. Laws are always post facto. I mean, after the fact. That's how laws come into being. The first laws is after somebody did it, then they made a law against it. And that's the same thing with the churches and things of this nature. Churches want to build their population because, you know, that's their money. You know, at that time, you know, having children and bringing the children up. That's what christening a baby's all about, getting them early, bringing them up in the church. Oh, that's about money and business, you know, and building the church population. That's a minister. It's a job to a minister, you know, because they do more than just preach on Sunday. They pray for people. They go to hospitals. They marry people that, but the point is I'm trying to get is that, when you say you don't think people were doing it nature, there's no record, but there's records of society stoning people for being gay, record of excommunicating people for being gay in African communities, and they didn't tolerate it.
But was that before the Greeks and Romans came on the scene?
Well, no. Well, like you just said, there's people gay, and they ain't been around no Greeks. Black people in the community, like you say, you wouldn't let your people even spend the night. Me either. I'm like that. I can't spend the night anywhere. You stay in your house. That's why we bought that big house for you to have your bedroom. You sleep in it. I agree with you on that. But there are a lot of people, they have splendor parties, jammer parties, and things, and they don't see nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. You do, but mine never attended, that's for sure.
Yeah. Doc, do you have any prescriptions for us?
No, I agree with everybody, but hey, it's here to stay. You're not going to change it. It's not, you can't get upset. And
but
I remember I was going to this Bible study, and when the pastor told me, he told the story about Noah. It was Ham, right? He said, the Bible don't tell a real story. When he walked in there on his dad, saw his dad there drunk and naked, he raped his dad. That's when his dad woke up and knew what his son did. He raped him. He said they don't want to put that in the true text in there, but hey man, I remember that commercial our governor used to put out years ago when he was running, man, and I don't know the verbatim, but I remember me saying, hey man, they're here to stay. Nothing's going to change. They're going to get their stuff. So I can't get upset with it, man. It's something that's going to always be here. It's never going to go away. There's no use.
Do you think society is accepting gay rights before they accept black rights?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you know what? Yeah.
You already mentioned.
I probably say yeah.
We at the bottom.
Like you said, man. Like Hembrick and it was said about Dwight Howard. I was just watching a little clip today with the little Corey Holcomb man who called. He said, man, if all the guys in basketball right now came out gay, you have a team that can beat the dream team. It'd be the baddest team ever in basketball. You put all the gays on one team. If they came out, you had the baddest team better than the dream team. But hey, man, like I said, hey, only other trans man from the workplace. I remember when I was up for a promotion, two blacks on the panel, and one Hispanic on the panel. The Hispanic guy, which was gay, another black guy. The higher ranker on the panel, he intentionally lowered me low, gave me a low score, so he can hook up this other Hispanic guy. The black guy did this. But the Hispanic guy and the other black guy on the panel stood up, said, nah, man, you can't do this to the doc. He scored high. How you going to score him low? And the gay guy stood up for me, man. The Hispanic guy stood up. The other black guy stood up. And, I found out later when the black guy told me, and I went in front of the other guy, hey, man, did this really happen? They showed me this guy it was on my own people, man, trying to do me in. But the gay guy stood up for me, man. And let the other black guy do me in, man.
Yeah, but he wasn't thinking black though. He wasn't.
No, he wasn't. You were correct. He wasn't thinking black. They knew my work ethic. He knew my work history, my ethics, man. He knew I knew the job, and they were just the one black guy was trying to hook up one of his buddies, and they intentionally, score. He intentionally tried to get them to go along with it, and they wouldn't go along with it.
All right. Now, do you feel, they got laws in different states. You know, you can't use the same bathroom. You can't. They got hate laws against bullying gays, but for protection. But at the same time, they also have restrictions that in certain areas that of society that gays think is discriminated against. But you know, they got gay bars, gay restaurants, gay you know, city councils and education, and they're fighting for the right to just let gayness be as natural as heterosexuality, and that's what they're fighting for. And then at the same time, we as Black people seem to have a tendency to sort of like become more complacent instead of pointing that out with regards to you know, reparations and the movement. You have more many of them joining the gay movement than and leaving the Black movement, and that's great.
Well, you know what? It's just like religion, man. Whose religion is right? You know, you got these different beliefs. You know, Christians. You know, Muslims, and the Jewish stuff, and you know, you got the Jehovah's Witness. All this different sect, man. Who's right? Who's wrong? You know, we got Democrats, Republic, Green parties. We got all these different things. We got the Crips and the Bloods, and you know, BGF. You know, who's right? Who's wrong, man? I mean, can we get rid of everybody that's immoral? Can we get rid of everybody that's doing something that's against the Bible? You know, you can't. You know, and like Linda, hey, never gonna change her mind. Rossi Key, never gonna change his mind. And you know, hey man, but it's here to stay. Who cares what you think? It's here to stay.
That's a good perspective.
And I agree with you. You know, hey, and it's just sad. You know, our point of view. You know, you get all these groups coming in, and we've been here, man, trying to get like I just told you earlier, they're getting all these hate bills, all these bills passed for them, and we're still here.
Being hated.
I mean, the biggest slap in the face, like you said, when you had the brothers on here about the reparations. They said they had no money, and all of a sudden this Ukraine stuff come out, man, and they're giving billions to them. And like I said, I'm not in politics. I never knew Israel was getting all this money. I had no clue. I didn't follow this stuff, man. And you're giving all these people money, and they tell us, you know, right before, we have no money. And all of a sudden they getting all this money. Man, that's a slap in the face. That's more slap in the face than the gay stuff, the Asian stuff. You ain't got no money, and all of a sudden, man, you write in a couple of years a check that would have took care of everybody, all the Blacks. That's a descendant of slaves. So, you know, we're looking at, they want you to look on this gay stuff, man, to forget about all that money they're giving away.
And every bomb they drop is $100,000.
Yeah. So let's keep talking about the gay stuff and the Asian stuff. Yeah, man. And forget about the money. You know, that they owe us. But hey, that's just life, man. Nothing's gonna never change. They're here to stay. Everybody's here, gonna do their thing, and we're gonna, you know, Rahh, like you said, the struggle can always continue.
Yeah.
You know, they're gonna come up with something new.
Well, things change naturally, nature-wise. We were young once, we were babies once. Look at us now. The life changes, and we're way ahead of the brothers and sisters that suffered through the Holocaust of enslavement. But some people get comfortable, and it seems like it's impossible to struggle against these Europeans. Look at the Palestinians. They've been fighting 60 years, throwing rocks. They ain't even got no bombs, no airplanes, no helicopter, no Navy. But they still fighting for their right to exist and to be free. Some people never give up. You know, the ethnic groups fighting in Africa been fighting since they've been on the set. each other. What you're saying is correct. To some things, the struggle, there's not going to be a change right away, but over time, time changes things. At one time, gays would never come out, never tell you they were gay. You understand? But look at them now. They out there having the biggest parades in the country, and they passing laws that they can have what they call drag clubs and drag this, and that it's okay for your kid to come to school in dresses if he's a male, or come to school in sweatshirts if she's a girl. And, things do change. They may not, change from the standpoint of humans disliking each other and abusing each other. But, you gotta look at as Rashiki and Joe say, nature change. Look at the weather change. You don't know when it's summer, when it's winter, when it's fall, because of pollution and things of this nature. I remember when we used to go to the beach, the beaches was blue. You could pick up seashells on the shore of the beaches and listen to them and things of this nature. When you used to go to Hermosa Beach and Cabrillo Beach, I mean, it was blue. The water was blue. You can't, now they tell you, don't go near the water. Whatever you do, don't go. You better not go in that ocean. There's so much pollution in it, and it's dark and ugly. It's a whole new different thing. But the more you go out to sea, the bluer it gets, but near the coast, So I'm just saying that we as the people got to do two things. One, as Brother Machinda was saying, we have to accept what's going on from the standpoint, but don't forget our struggle. One, for those of us that are not into the LGBTQ movement, and don't let it divert us from our struggle for human and social justice and economic opportunity and voting rights. You got, like I said, they operate city, state, they're getting the major appointments in administrations. When you look at Don Lemon, who was gay, and that dude Black who comes on in the weekend, he's gay. It's a number of the people that, it's just a situation where we're noticing that Black gays do not pose a threat to social change for the race. They just want social change for their right to be with same-sex marriages. There's laws against that in certain states. So they have an issue, but the point is that sometimes people think it's superseding our racial justice movement in this country. So that's the issue, and we have to educate our kids. I mean, how do you tell your kids you don't want them to be gay? Or do you have that discussion? And why they should stay heterosexual if you believe in it? Or do you say, hey, whatever you choose once you get grown, you come to dinner and you got a boyfriend and you're a male. You got a girlfriend you live with and you're a girl. Are you going to tell them don't come to dinner? And they're your kids? Because the trend now is that it's open. I mean, it's open. And you're having this family, and then to say, family, you're not dealing with procreation. You're not dealing with those things, and you're not dealing with family. That's why they call them households now. And then they let the laws about can gay people adopt children, and many of them are. In certain states, they can't. So, they're fighting for these rights. And sometimes they supersede our issues in many ways. Anybody else have any comments? Rashaki, you want to tell us what's going on next week? Tomorrow?
Tomorrow we got Noble Carlos. It's this young guy coming on. I was supposed to interview him, but we're gonna turn it into a conversation with him, and we're gonna have. I'm not only gonna ask him questions. I want to get questions from the panel, whoever shows up. But it should be interesting. He's a progressive young man. He's in his early 20s. I'm not gonna give his specific age out, but he's very progressive for his age, and so it should be a very interesting time tomorrow night.
Well, it's like Doc said, it's hard to create social change, but nature changed a lot of things, earthquakes, all of that. It's hard to change social and ideological and spiritual change and attitudes. You can make people do things, but you can't make them like it. You can make your kids wash dishes, but you can't make them like washing dishes. You understand? But you have to watch them wash the dishes, because when they don't like it, they don't do a good job. The same thing with life. We can criticize, and it's like the good doctor says, it's very little you can do by yourself as far as making social change or political change. But nature, all powerful countries come up and they go down throughout history. They come up and they go down. And some, the Muslims predict that this is the fall of America. That's what Muhammad said. I don't know, but I do know one thing, that we as the people must continue to struggle, regardless of what. And it's for our social and political justice.
Rahh, let me ask this question.
Yeah.
Since you brought it up, if they're getting all this, what are they doing right then? If they're passing us with the bills and all this, getting advantage, what are they doing right that we're doing wrong?
Well, no, it's not that. Dick Cheney's daughter was gay. Political people who kids are gay are fighting for them. You understand? And there are a lot of black gay politicians whose kids are gay, and they're fighting for them.
So they have more politicians and people in the right place fighting for them,
right.
and we don't have those people in the right place.
Yeah. Look at West Hollywood. Look at West Hollywood. All the money they get. Their whole city council is gay. The same thing in Sacramento. We don't even know people gay until after they get elected or after they get in the office. And then, like I said, man, even they jamming this mayor in New York. One time they said he was living with a dude. I don't know, but they have more political juice. It's just like Latinos. Latinos come in the black communities that just got here. They don't go to Southgate. They don't go to Paramount. They don't go to Montebello. They don't go to Baldwin Park. They come straight here to Willowbrook and Compton because it's a drop city. You understand? And then once they get themselves together, they move. Their goal is to get out the community. You understand? Most of them have 4 and 5 people in the house and working, and their goal is to get out of here. They don't want to be around, all those things unless they have to. I remember I told some people that living in Imperial Courts in Jordan, said the Mexicans taking them over. I said, I'm glad they taking over the projects. You understand? You should be wanting to get up out of there anyway. And so the same thing with the schools. When we went to Centennial, we was about 85% black. Now we're 5% black. You understand? Nature, population change. And the same thing with the gay movement. You see more black people join gay. And we want to say what? And we ain't talking about them that were born that way. We're talking about people converting to gay lifestyles, like in Atlanta, in certain parts of the South and Georgia, and even the penitentiary. You know, Machinda, I don't know if he ever, I don't know who worked with juveniles that were incarcerated, but they have a sock they call Fifi, and that's their woman. You understand, that they masturbate with, and they call her Fifi, and that I'm just trying to tell you, man, it's a challenge, because a lot of people who are converting to gayism is surrendering the Black movement, saying, hey, I got another movement now. Am I right to come out? Am I right to love who I want to love and be with who I want to be? And the good doctor say, hey, look, they're going to do that anyway, undercover or straight out. But it affects our population. It affects our movement, as far as the power movement, even the civil rights movement. But we have to educate and try to encourage people to the importance of procreation and the importance of the family structure from a heterosexual standpoint, and at the same time teach them not to hurt other people because they are gay, or abuse other people in the community because they're gay. But we can walk and chew gum at the same time. I push. I don't date Caucasian women, and I don't even see them as pretty. Not because I hate them. It's a political and cultural decision I made. I'm gonna marry a Black woman, and I'm gonna have Black kids, and bring up a Black consciousness. And that was political. I don't hate white people, but I just don't socialize with them. You understand? Because of our history. You understand? And because I'm trying to build a Black community, and we be attacked. We be attacked. Every Black person that stands up gets attacked. The brother that was in New Orleans when they had Katrina, he ends up getting indicted. You understand? Charles Diggs went to the only Black congressman that went to Emmett Till's court hearing. He gets indicted. I mean, every time a Black leader stands up that's in the political arena, they indict him. And so, but the point is, getting back to the gay movement, we don't know who gay and who ain't. You understand? You be sitting up and telling me I don't like gays, and half the people in the table is gay. You understand? You don't know. But there are efforts by some to come out and say, hey, I'm gay. I'm proud. I've been married to this man for 20 years. That's what they call domestic partners now. If before they could get married, you understand, they call them domestic partners, and they were fighting for the right to have to visit, be able to go to hospitals and see their mates and be with them in other areas of a man and wife type of a situation. There's a lot to go into it. There are laws, there's rules, there's policies. It's not just about people loving each other. It's about them wanting their rights to love each other and all the rights that heterosexual people get. But anyway, we'll see each other Wednesday. It was a good discussion. I just want to thank all y'all for your participation. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Professor Rahh.
Yeah.
Each one teach one, Conscious Corner, taking our pause tomorrow.